Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another live stream. Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully the music wasn't too loud when we started there. Welcome back to another Thursday fun day, as you know how we like to do out here. Yeah, my apologies for being a little late today. I was actually running on Mexican time. My apologies. This morning was just very hectic, a lot of things going on. Weather was not cooperating, and then last minute, right before I went live, all of a sudden Gizmo was wanting to play, and I started getting distracted, and before I knew it, here we are. But anyways, here we are, better late than never, right? So shout out to everyone out there, and welcome back to another live stream. And hopefully the sound is coming okay. Please let me know if there's anything wrong with the sound, if you can hear me okay, if the music is too loud, whatever it is, because again, today was just very hectic and I didn't really have too much time to get everything together. I just went live. And that's what I love about these live streams, because many times, even when I'm not mentally there per se, because I'm busy, I got so many things to do, I can always just come out here, turn on the camera, turn on the live stream, and here we are, just start talking about whatever topic it is I picked out for this week. So today is today's live stream, okay, is actually going to be talking about the fact that so many people live in fear, just constant fear, and this is the true reality of life out there for many people, unfortunately, in today's modern world. But the reality is that you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live that kind of lifestyle. And on top of that, for many people out there, not just they live in fear, but they also, on top of that, live in fear of Mexico. So as they look at, for example, they'll look at a live stream like this, and they'll see, all the beautiful, environment, everything in the background, right? Or many of you guys, will see many videos all over the place. All kinds of videos, not just of Mexico, but many other countries. But let's just stick to Mexico for now, for a minute here. And you guys see how awesome and amazing it is. But then, you talk to your neighbor about, hey, I'm thinking about going on vacation to Mexico. And they're like, what? Are you crazy? You're going to die. You hear anything on the news, it's always negative. Right now, with what's going on in the political scene, negative. It's always negative. You go on Netflix, and what are you gonna find? You're gonna find things like Narcos. You're gonna find things that are just they're gonna over glamorize the negative aspects and not the positive aspects of Mexico and living in Mexico. And that's just the reality of it. The reality is that so many people, unfortunately, still believe that propaganda and live in that world of just constant fear. Because they're really just scared, more than anything else. They're just being scared of actually doing it. Most people, they always use excuses, for actually, what the real reason as to, to cover up the real reason as to why they don't want to do X, Y, Z. And so a lot of people, always, the reality is that most people are just scared of change more than anything else. And the reality is that, again, look at how beautiful everything is in the background. This is why I like to show you guys, things like this, or things that I've shot, personally filmed, to show you exactly what Mexico looks like. Because the thing is, it's that for the most part, it really is nice and beautiful and chill, but it is a different lifestyle. And a lot of people would rather, again, they like to listen more to the negative aspects as to what makes Mexico not good, because really what they're trying to do is talk themselves out of it, because the change is too big, too great, too much, for most people to just handle, and but the reality is that, look, Mexico, there's no reason for you out there to be living in fear. Mexico is an amazing country, all right? And the reality is that these days I would be more in fear of living in the USA or Canada than I would be living in Mexico. But anywho's, all right, sorry about that long intro. A little long-winded. Let me get a little drink of water. Like I said, I didn't even, get to do the basic stuff of, just getting a drink of water and making sure my hair is okay. My hair's all poofy. I definitely need a haircut soon. But it's also, it was raining all day. It's been raining. It's like humid and rainy out there. We're starting off to a wet, we're starting off this season, this year, kind of wet, which is a lot better than what it was last year and the year prior, which was very dry. So, but anyways, all right. Mm. Alberto says, where is this? Okay, well, the footage here is actually just stock footage from all over Mexico, so I don't know. I mean, it's just random parts of Mexico, all over Mexico. So what we're watching today, I don't know. Because I don't know the exact locations of each shot. And what we were watching last week, that was in Guadalajara and Tlaquepaque. That was when we were visiting. So, sometimes, I'll show you, other scenes of the beach, but everything in the background today, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe you guys in the audience can, can help me out with that. Okay. Now, greetings from the Great White North. So shout out to Alberto, host Joseph, Alvaro, Efraim, Gregory, Ray T, Glenn, everybody out there, and all the other people out there watching, just chilling. So shout out to everyone. Ray T says, while I'm in Merida, what do I need to show my wife, mom, and kids to convince them we should move to Mexico? Look, the reality is that it's not necessarily about convincing them. It's simply as don't try to convince anybody, really. Unfortunately, if someone doesn't want to do something, forcing them to do it is not going to help. They're going to want to do the move voluntarily. They're going to want to, in order for this to be a success, they're going to have the, they're gonna, have to have the natural need to want to get out of there. All right. And to get out of the USA and move to Mexico. And so unfortunately, look, I'll give you an example. I have plenty of friends and family that come to visit me out here in Mexico, and they're here a few days and they cannot wait to go back to the USA because they miss so many of the comforts that they're provided, or so many of the luxuries that they're provided in the USA. Again, the lifestyle. There's so many people out there and everybody wants a different lifestyle. So the thing is that, the reality is that, why is it you want to move to Mexico? You got to ask yourself that. And then you got to find out why they don't want to move to Mexico. You got to go around all that because, that's a very, very important thing. If it's things like, for example, like what we're going to be talking about today, that all of a sudden, there's people out there that, they are coming from a very dangerous area in the USA, and they want to move to Mexico simply for safety reasons. But, even though they'll see videos like mine and other people's videos out there and they see how safe it is, they keep hearing in the news and they keep hearing from other people that Mexico is very dangerous. And so they see the danger in their backyard and they just assume that, again, all the propaganda, all the news that they're told about the USA being the safest place ever, and then if they're in danger in their own neighborhood in the USA, then how much more dangerous could Mexico or other countries be? That's how they kind of brainwash people, you know what I mean? With the propaganda of, again, the fear mongering and all this other stuff, because they cannot conceive, how other places outside of the USA could be safer. So it's just so many things. So for example, Ray T, you know what I mean? I don't know what your situation is. Why is it you guys are looking to move out? Is it for safety? You know what I mean? If it's safety, well, just walking around the park, just walking around the center, just walking around anywhere, you'll see, you know what I mean, how much safer it is. If it's, other reasons, high quality of life, well, then again, they'll be able to see that immediately. I remember, when I had, again, my sister, with, her, my sister and the kids, they came out here, and I remember how the kids, they loved it. They really loved it because they understood, they got to see the freedom that the kids have here, the freedom that, most people have out here and things like that. And so for example, the older daughter, you know what I mean? She was a little bit more like, oh my God, how come things are not as, spotless and as clean in the sense of like, oh man, you know how typical home and how typical places look like in the USA and how typical places look like here. Okay, so she was thrown aback by that. But then she loved things like, again, seeing the kids of all ages, her age, you know, at the park, out of school, without parent supervision, you know, again, without that super duper supervision, you know, just things like that. So the thing is look, the reality is that this is why, you know, I tell people, and I hope other YouTubers and other people are saying the same thing. You know, you gotta come visit. You gotta come visit. You cannot just blindly come out here. My story, again, this is why I like to repeat my story over and over again, because my story was unique and I really didn't have a choice. And I was alone, okay? Just me and a bag like a hobo. That's it, okay? Jose the hobo, all right, literally. And he, you know, me, I'm talking in the third person here, Jesus. Anyways, but anyway, so you know, my story was very unique. You know, you cannot compare my story to, let's say, you, if you got, you know, a wife and kids and a dog. It's like, no, bro, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I mean, right now I got a dog and I got my wife, okay? That's it. I don't even have anything else. And, you know, I got different priorities. You know, again, I was late to the live stream today because I was playing with my dog. You know, like, again, if I had a kid, you know, I got put the kid as a priority over, you know, doing a live stream. And I can do that out here in Mexico, okay? Why? Because I'm not in fear. I'm not scared, you know, that I got to always keep up. You know, I got to always, you know, got to live that American lifestyle. Go, 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 go. Produce, produce, produce. You know, things like that. You know, I just happen to be, you know, a hard worker. You know, I try to work on my discipline. I try to do all these things, you know, in order to, you know, always have live streams and videos and things like that. But that's more of an exercise for me than anything else. But I get to have the freedom of doing that out here, you know, or living the life out here, because I'm not in fear of always having to, you know, just make and produce to pay the bills, you know, like I would be in the USA all the time. But look, Ray, at the end of the day, like you and everybody else, you know, the reality is that everyone is very different. And so Ray T, you says, I want a high quality of life and low cost of living. Okay. Can you provide yourself income, you know, from abroad in order to provide that? Because these are the questions that you need to, you know, ask yourself. So it's like, yeah, okay, great. You know, you want to move to Mexico with your family. Can you still make the same amount of money, or can you make money? Do you have that secured in order to move out here? If you do, then yes, you know, I would not worry about it. If you already got your income secured, meaning you can work online or whatever it is you do, and all you got to do is just move, you know, you can live anywhere. Yeah, a simple visit to Mexico, all right, should be enough, because immediately once they're here, once you're here, once anyone's here, if you can, have the means, you know, if you can have, you know, some sort of income, you know, but, you know, you have the means to live out here, yeah, it's by far superior. You know, again, it's a lot more relaxed, more calm, better food, better environment, better, you know, less, you know, so many, you know, so many positives, you know, to improve your quality of life. That again, you've heard me, you know, basically talk, you know, to death out here on this channel about how amazing it is, compared to, you know, what we have back home in the USA these days, unfortunately. But yeah, look, there's a lot of questions out there. You know, there's a lot of things that you got to ask yourself. You know, again, for me, it was very easy, you know, to do it because I came out here alone. Nothing. I was not expecting much. In fact, all I wanted, okay, was a roof and food. Okay. I was not picky about the roof, and I was not picky about the food. That's it. You know what I mean? I just did not want to live in a tent on the street or live in my car in the USA. So since, you know, what I was really looking for was very basic and minimal, it was very easy for me to, you know, to come out here and succeed. You know, but there's a lot of people out there that might have a similar background to me, and then they're coming out here and they're just like, oh, you know, I can only afford Starbucks twice a week. I really want to afford it 5 times a week, but still live my life. It's like, what do you mean live your life? What, you want to, you know, wake up every morning, you know, go to, you know, find a job, go, commute to work, come back home, you know, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know, so everybody, you know, a lot of people, you get this, the reality is that in order for you to really move out to Mexico, there's a lot of questions you need to ask yourself, you need to answer, and you need to really figure out, you know, a lot more than just like, hey, I'm moving to Mexico. By the way, I'm not picking on you, Ray T. I'm talking to everyone in general, okay? This is really what I'm talking about here, because, you know, so many people have a lot of the similar, kind of situation. So, all right, Ray T, so you say you got both remote workers and you're a frugal family. Yeah, you're good to go. You're good to go. Once you're out here, that's the thing. If you got those things set in place, okay, so if you're retired, well, you got your retirement check. If you already work, do remote work, you're good to go. If you already are a frugal family, all right, meaning there's Starbucks at home, how the Mexicans say, how we grew up. Say, I want McDonald's. We got McDonald's at home, all right, the frozen chicken nuggets or whatever. Anyways, listen, if you already live that lifestyle, you'll love it out here. You will love it out here. In fact, once you're out here, you will immediately see. In fact, you'll be out here and it'll in fact, don't try to convince them. The thing is, just being out here is enough to kind of convince them. In fact, it's more like your wife might even ask you, hey, do you think it'd be a possibility if we can move out to Mexico? And then be like, yeah, we can move out here. Don't worry about it. We'll get it done. All right. So that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's more about that, because the reality is that when you look, everything you're looking at in today's video back there, okay, is Mexico. Okay. Merida provides a certain look, where you're looking, look, the iguana is Merida. All right. You're not going to see here. I got to show you guys real quick just to make sure. We're all on the same page. You're not going to see that in Merida. This is in the northern and other parts of Mexico, okay? What you're going to see out here is Mr. Iguana. You're going to be seeing the beach. You're going to be seeing other kind of things. So, you also got to keep that in mind as well. So, if you want to move out to basically Florida, then yeah, you'll love it out here. And the thing is, it's like, look, when you're living in Florida and you got to work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, it kind of sucks. But if you get to live in Florida and you get to enjoy, Florida, again, just same as the Yucatan, you get to live out here, but you work enough to pay the bills, and you still have enough to left over, and you don't got to overwork yourself, and so you got enough time to go to the beach, spend time with the kids, enjoy the scenery, go check out some Mayan ruins like you're looking at right there. There's many things you could do out here, and I just hear any part of Mexico has all kinds of wonderful things. But that's the thing. The reality is that, for a lot of people, like for example, Ray T, he is not in fear of moving to Mexico. In fact, the only fear he seems to have is just whether or not his family is going to like it and get adjusted to it. Look, this is what I would do if I were you, Ray T. Kind of find out, what are the things that your family is most likely going to miss. Because look, there's a lot of things out here, all right, that you're going to see that, well, they're awesome. All right. And you might not even have access to them in the USA. But it's also the other way around, meaning that there's going to be things out here that they might want or might want to have access to, or whatever it is, that they might not be able to get. So that's the thing. You got to figure out what those things are and figure out if they're make it or break things, and whether or not you can find a substitute out here. Most likely, like I said, most people are more than happy to trade, a simple thing like a can of corned beef hash, or that they can't get out here, but they can get at any store in the USA, over quality of life and freedom. As much as I love my corned beef hash in a can, I've learned to live without it. You know what I mean? Because, hey, freedom just tastes so much better. All right? So it's just things like that. But for example, my sister, she might not be able to live, without the things that she likes, but she for sure, can live without freedom, whatever, freedom, come on, Sorry, Gizmo's out there being a little too free with his barking. My apologies. Might be, someone walking around there. Hopefully he's not too loud. You might not be able to hear him. Do I think Morelia is safe? I don't know, Elizabeth. But I would say yes. There's a lot of people moving into all parts of Mexico, but it's up to you. You got to do more research on all those areas. I live in Merida, Yucatan. This is the area I know the best. I've traveled to a few places here and there, but I'm not a 100% total expert, on whatchamacallit, on like moving to, on every single part of Mexico here. All right, 1 second. All right, let me see what Gizmo's up to. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys here with some music. All right, one second, guys. My apologies. Hold on a second. Sorry, Christian was in at home right now, and I had left the door open because it's raining. It was raining, so he couldn't be in the backyard. So, I had him out front. And then, of course, there's some cats out there having their weekly, a meeting or whatever it is that they were doing. And so, all right, we're back. We're back. So, shout out to everyone out there. All right. Elizabeth says I could do stand up, especially when you get together with Juan, the lawyer. Oh, you could be, comedian. His name is Jose. All right, Jose and Jose. All right, but thank you on the comedian thing. Yeah, I'm trying to work on my, I try to be funny. So one thing I did learn, about having and living a very hard and difficult life. You gotta learn to roll with the punches. So you can either be bitter and angry all day, or you get to laugh, and laugh at the absurdity of life and everything that is. That comes with it. So thank you, I appreciate that. But where am I from? I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I was born and raised in Miami. Both of my parents are Cuban. All right, and so this is why I was born, that's why I'm American, but I have an accent. Por eso puedo hablar español. And so, I have, that's another thing too. I do have another leg up there, where it comes to that. First of all, when I moved out here, again, I moved out here with bare bones minimum, but I was already kind of used to living that life. Another thing that all that helped me out a lot. That helped me definitely, when I came out here with nothing, and no YouTube videos, no nothing. There's nothing out there, I came out here 7 years ago, whatever. But on top of that, the fact that I spoke Spanish, that's why I, came out here, because Spanish is my native language. It's as simple as that. And so that's why I came out here, because I was like, well, I speak the language, so hey, I should be able to figure it out. And I did figure it out. So yeah, but yeah, Spanish definitely helps a lot. In fact, I was earlier today, I was watching some TikTok video or whatever, one of those little shorts, and it was some guy that was making videos out here in Merida, and he's German. And he was just doing everything in German, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting, just kind of like seeing him, in the market, but anyways, yeah, he spoke Spanish. It wasn't perfect Spanish, but he spoke pretty good Spanish. And it was interesting because he was able to have conversations and understand the locals. And, he was in the market, he was eating at the little places like where I eat with my wife, and so on and so forth, all in the zone. And the people were like amazed at how good his Spanish was. So Spanish goes a very, very long way. So please, consider, learning Spanish as much as you can, as much Spanish as you can, so you can have a even better, higher quality of life out here. That definitely helps. All right. Let me see. Yeah, I'm reading some comments today, but look, because the thing is, it's like the topic of today's video is the fear of living in Mexico. Okay, basically, stop living in fear of living in Mexico. A lot of people, again, it's not that they don't want to move to Mexico, is that they are scared. They're scared of the change. They're scared of the commitment. They're scared of the unknown. They're scared of so many things. All right. And so these are all convenient excuses, convenient things that a lot of people can kind of use as excuses as to why they will never come to Mexico. And then on top of that, if that wasn't enough, there's so many other things now compounding, giving you even more reasons as to not to come to Mexico, which is all the propaganda, the fake news about, whether it's dangerous in the cartel situation, or whether they're deporting Americans. We're going to start deporting Americans, and we're going to start doing the same thing that they're doing in the USA to people out here. And I could go on and on, so much fear, propaganda as to what life is out here. You're going to get kidnapped. Again, I keep reminding people, the cartel are not interested in kidnapping your dumb ass, to take your $200 or your Social Security check. They don't care. They're not. Okay. So just please understand. And if there's any bandidos out there, trying to steal anything from you, it's the police. Okay. And they're just shaking you down. And if you don't know Spanish, they'll, give you the gringo shakedown. And if you do know Spanish, they'll probably just let you go. Most likely 900% of the time. All right. Why? Because the cops out here are not like the ones in the USA. In fact, again, people are always scared of the cops and the cartel out here. And I'm like, why? For what? If you're not scared of the police in the USA, you shouldn't be scared of anything out here, okay? Okay, honestly, you should be 1,000,000% way more scared of the police in the USA than anything out here. Because look, the cops out here, you know, worst case scenario, they'll shake you down for some money, they'll look angry, they'll look mean. Again, if you don't know, you know, how to speak the language and things like that, it's going to be even more intimidating and more mean. But long story short, you're going to live. You're gonna live. Okay? You're going to survive. You're not going to go to jail. No one's going to do anything to you. Okay? Because if they do, they got severe problems they got to deal with. All right? First of all, you know, again, the police out here, if they commit a crime, any crime, okay? Any crime. You like literally even like pulling you over illegally, okay? That's a crime. All right? Man, so many cats out there today. Sorry about that. All right, hold on a sec. Hold on, because otherwise he's going to keep barking. It's going to be a pain in the butt. One sec. Guys, sorry. Hey. All right. See, look, this is why it's nice to, you know, when Christian's home and she can just, you know, lock him, you know, lock him in the room or in the office, you know, when he's, you know, too loud. But anyways, but long story short, you know, people should really be more in fear. You know, there's more fear to be had by a police officer in the USA that can basically end your life, you know, on a bad traffic stop. And no matter what they do, even if what they do is an egregious crime, all right, you know, they just get a little slap on the wrist and that's it. You know, worst case scenario, they get fired and they get, you know, go get another job at another police station. It doesn't happen here. You know, if like a police officer here does anything to anyone, okay, they have to, you know, deal with the same consequences as like any other citizen doing anything, especially like if they kill somebody or whatever, you know. So just keep that in mind, all right? So don't ever be intimidated by the cops out here or anything like that. And especially if you're an American citizen, and especially with the tensions right now, are you kidding me? You know, like the USA is looking for any reason, any excuse, all right, to come out here and bring freedom, you know, or whatever, bring democracy, you know, whatever it is the USA does. So no, you know what I mean? The cops and all these, the cartel, everybody is on their best behavior. Do not get it twisted, all right? The last thing they want, you know, is for the long arm of the US, you know, law, you know, the US Army, the US whatever, to come out here, you know? So it's the complete opposite. In fact, it's probably safer now than ever, all right? Now, you know, there are areas in Mexico, okay, in the north especially, but there are areas, you know, where there's cartel wars and gang wars and there's all kinds of, you know, things going on. And, you know, who knows, things might get a little worse, you know, with the US involvement. Just stay away from those areas. That's it. You know, it's a humongous country, as you guys can see. You know what I mean? Like right behind me, you know, how many videos of other YouTubers you need to see, you know, to see that it's a humongous country and nothing's going on. You know what I mean? Of course there are things going on in certain areas. But like I like to describe people, you know, I like to describe to people in the USA. Look, imagine that there's like a cartel war, okay, in the USA, all right? But these wars, okay, are really happening in the middle of Montana or in the mountains of Colorado or in the middle of Wichita, Kansas, you know, or Kansas. It's like, how is that affecting the rest of the country? You know, is it affecting LA? Is it affecting Miami? Is it affecting New York City? No, it's not. They're not even anywhere near that. In fact, when the USA, it's the opposite. In the USA, there's nothing happening in the country except in the major cities, the last place you want things to be out of control. So again, it's a complete opposite. You know, out here, all the insanity and craziness is out in the middle of nowhere, like literally in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, unless you're like a super duper adventurous journey, whatever, you know, dude, you know, travel guy, Indiana Jones wannabe, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, way off the beaten path, and you just happen to come across them, they're most likely going to be like, hey, you're on the wrong path. You should be going the other way. And that's it. They're not going to kidnap you. They're not going to... I mean, I could go on and on. But there's no fear. There's really no fear to be had when it comes to any of those things. And again, if they're going to have any fear with anything out here, it's just some dumb, corrupt cop in the middle of nowhere trying to shake you down for a few bucks. That's it. You know what I mean? And again, if you know Spanish, you know your way around it. Nothing to fear there either. All right? The police and authority do not have the power that they do in your country, in the USA or things like that. So for me, it's funny because in the 7 years that I've lived here, I have actually, calmed down, been more relaxed. My anxiety levels have gone down. I could go on and on. Look, I still suffer from severe police PTSD. Meaning that if I see any kind of like police or whatever, I always like immediately have that, kind of like initial little mini panic attack until I just kind of calm down and be like, hey, bro, you're in Mexico. Those cops are fine. They're not, You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Relax. And I gotta like remind myself of where I am and what I am, what my life is. Okay. And I gotta do that more on a regular basis, but and I know a lot of people out there, again, they live with that severe PTSD, constantly in the USA, and they think that it's gonna be way worse out here. But it's not. Out here in Mexico, again, it's no one cares, you live your life. No one's asking you for ID, and if they do, it's illegal, and you don't have to show them ID, and there's nothing they can do about it. No, it's just like it's such a safe environment compared to the USA these days. Compared to the USA for a long time, that again, for a lot of people, just being out here for a little bit, you get to really see what freedom is. Look, it's not for everybody. I know plenty of Americans that come out to Mexico and they do not like the fact that there is constant authority, on top of you. Hey, how come there's not an inspector? Hey, how come that cop isn't asking that guy for ID? Hey, how come this isn't that? How come that I get that, you know what I mean? And so for those people that really, really, really want to live in that kind of tyrannical world, stay in the USA. But living in Mexico is basically like living in the wild. It's like living in anarchy. And a lot of people are very fearful of that. They're very scared of that. For me, no way. You know what I mean? Like the fact that everything is just free. It's anarchy out here. There's almost no rule of law compared to what the rule of law is in the USA. Man, this is paradise. This is paradise. For those that really do not like, excessive authority, excessive, rules, excessive bull crap, you love Mexico. And that's the thing. That's right. If you hate, how about this? If you love to bootlick, if you're a bootlicker, you love that, don't come to Mexico. You're not going to like it out here. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it out here. All right. And, for me, that's one of the things that I hate the most in life, is people like that, the bootlickers, the order followers, the people that don't question anything, the people that just blindly follow. And so that's the thing out here in Mexico, that's probably not going to be for you, because out here in Mexico, the reality is that that's part of the life out here, is that the freedom that everybody has to like live their life, and no one can really tell them what to do. And again, sometimes there's negative aspects to it, and sometimes there's positive aspects to it. Look, we're going to be talking more about this in the future. In fact, I got videos planned out and so on and so forth, to continue to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Because look, again, for a lot of people, like me included, for me and many of you guys out there in the audience, Mexico is paradise. But for a lot of people, it's not. It really all just depends on who you are and what you're looking for. All right. It's really simple as that. And so right now, for example, if you're in the USA, a lot of Americans these days are begging. They're begging, okay, for more law and order, for more restrictions, for more, you already know, okay, for all of that. And that's a nightmare. For me, that would be a nightmare, okay, to be under those conditions. But for some people, they're beyond relieved. They're so happy. They want the boot on their neck. They want more, more whatever. And again, you know what? Before we get too deep into this, because I know I can already see I'm already about to go too deep. A lot of people out there, me included, could even say that a lot of this was created in the USA. Again, they give you the problem, so and then so that you can beg for the solution. So again, by the way, in today's video, okay, by the way, you guys already know I go live here every single Thursday, all right? But after we're done with our live stream here, we go live on my other channel, which, by the way, shout out to everyone out there. Thank you so much, for, all those new subscriptions and helping me grow over there. But yeah, long story short, we're going to continue talking more about this over there. There's certain things I can't say on this channel, certain things I can't really talk about here, but I'll be more than happy to talk about them over there. So please, go over there and, I'm going to send you guys a link. Okay. So you guys can join me later as soon as I'm done here. And again, if you like today's content, you like today's video, you like everything on this channel, whether it was today's video or another video, please do me a favor. Go over there and just give me a subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like what I make over there. The content I make over here. I do all kinds of things. I have story time. I talk about my own personal stories of my own life. Everything from, barely surviving a camping trip, all the way to how I quit smoking, how I lost weight, and everything in between. How when I lived in Seattle, my life as a chef, yada, yada, yada. I hope you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. Please go join me over there once I'm done here. We still got a while here. We're still going to talk here for a while. Just wanted to shamelessly plug that over there because the thing is that the reality is that right now, man, look, I left 7 years ago. I left the USA 7 years ago in fear, in total paranoia, okay, that the world that we live in right now was going to happen. Again, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, people thought I was nuts. They're like, Jose, what do you mean? None of that's going to happen. You're crazy. Like literally would say that to my face. All right. We love you, but you're nuts. Anyways, it's been many years already since, a lot of my, the same people that called me nuts, have apologized and has said, oh my God, we wish I would have listened to you earlier or before or whatever. But it wasn't just me. So many people out there sounding the alarms for the longest time. And I've been sounding the alarms for the longest time and nobody cared. So then, whatever, what I mean? That's why, we kind of just focused on other things. But long story short, if you want to hear more, see more, go join me over there. Let's get back to, walking around the forest here. But yeah, look, long story short, the reality is that what are the reasons? What are the real reasons, why you're moving to Mexico? Why is it you want to like have your, pick up your whole family and bring them out here? What's the thing? I mean? Is it just for cost of living? Because if it's just for cost of living, there's a lot of things that you really have to consider, and whether you're going to, be able to meld with the culture or not. But look, with that said, there's a lot of people, again, sticking with the fear, that's what we're talking about here. Let's try to stay on topic. But the fear of moving to Mexico, look, for a lot of people, the fear of being accepted, that's a very real thing. So look, even for me, I was very fearful of getting accepted, okay? Because at the end of the day, I am not Mexican. I was born in the USA. I'm American. My parents are Cuban, okay? So I'm a Cuban American, all right? And I'm choosing to come out to live in Mexico. I mean, come on. And so, like, for me, it was like, man, how are they going to accept me? Will they accept me? And so on and so forth. So that was a fear for me. It's a fear for other Mexicans, all right? Because I hear that a lot as well. There are Mexicans that maybe have only come to Mexico a few times, and they're scared as to how they're gonna get if they're gonna get accepted or not. Mexicans that don't even speak Spanish. Again, because I speak Spanish. I know Mexicans that have lived, their whole life, have been born and raised in the USA, and they don't speak Spanish. All right, and imagine how fearful they are. Now imagine some of you out there. You know what I mean? The fear of being accepted as well. And especially now with the tensions, with the Trump and stuff like that. Again, we talked about that more in another video. And in fact, in a past live stream a couple weeks ago, so you can go check that out if you're interested. But that's also a very real fear that a lot of people are having these days. Now, again, there's no reason to fear, getting accepted. Again, that's all more of a, personal thing that most people have to get over. But this is a very real thing. It really is. It is what it is. Let's not, get it twisted. So it's not just, that, but, once you're out here, though, one of the pleasant surprises that you will come across is the fact that you will get accepted. You'll definitely get accepted. It doesn't matter who you are. The thing is, it's like this. If you're nice, if you are, really genuine, like a good person, things like that, listen, they're going to accept you. Of course, you're going to find, an asshole. Of course, you're going to find someone that's not so nice. You're going to, there are humans, okay, just like in any other part of the world, and they're going to be all kinds of people. But for the most part, generally speaking, Mexicans are some of the nicest people I've met in my life. Some of the, like, I'm like seriously amazing, next level, wow. And again, a lot of people don't get Mexicans. I definitely get Mexicans. They're always, busting balls, having fun, cracking jokes, whatever. Okay, so for a lot of people, if you can hang, if you can go with the flow, then you'll be fine. For example, you'll go to a taco stand, all right, and then you'll be like, hey, which is you can even ask, okay, so let's start again. Okay, so imagine you go to a taco stand, right, and you ask the taco person, hey, which is your spiciest salsa? Okay, or you can ask, which is your non-spicy salsa? Okay, no spicy or spicy, it doesn't matter what. Most likely, they're gonna give you the spiciest thing on the face of the earth. Okay, and when you try it and you're like, oh my god, it's so hot, and they're all laughing at you, you got to understand that they're not laughing at you because you're a dumb gringo. No, they're laughing at you because that's what they would do to anybody. Okay, if a Mexican walks through there, if anybody walks through there, okay, seriously, and that's how they deal with things. And if you cannot laugh with them, that's how they judge whether you're cool or not. So if all of a sudden you get the spicy taco and you're like, oh my god, that's spicy, can I get an horchata? Oh, ha ha ha, that's funny. Oh, you got me. I should have known better. No problem. That's it. You made friends. But if all of a sudden you get mad, you get upset, you don't understand the comedy, you don't understand their culture, forget about it. You're gonna hate it out here. You're like, oh my god, why are these Mexicans always, playing tricks on me? Why are they so mean to me? Why are they so racist? Why are they giving me the gringo price? Listen, everyone's getting the gringo price these days. It's called inflation, all right? I go out sometimes and I see the prices on some things and I'm like, what? There's tacos at home. You know what I mean? Come on, so like, I don't want to hear it, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you know basic Spanish and you know basic math, you'll be able to literally see, okay? Tacos de lengua, 20 pesos, okay? All right? So it's a lot of things, man. A lot of people, they come with all these preconceptions, all these fears, all these thoughts, and then they come out here and they're on pins and needles, and all of a sudden, instead of just going with the flow and trying to figure out, how things are out here, and rolling with the punches and stuff like that, what they do is a complete opposite. They start getting offended, they start getting upset, they start, getting emotional, they start getting all these other things, and it's like, come on, man, jeez, you know what I mean? Because that's another thing too. A lot of people even say, it's like, oh, all these gringos are coming out here and, they're forcing, some of these taco stands to make mild salsa. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you kidding me? Look, my wife hates spicy food. I love spicy food. I want like fire diarrhea. All right. Like literally, if it's not that, I don't want it. You know what I mean? I like spicy. Where's the logic in that? All right. In fact, I used to be a chef. I know a few things about this. The people that like some of the spiciest food on earth are freaking Americans, okay? In fact, from the southern portion of America. Have you even been? They even have YouTube channels dedicated to spicy and hot sauces in the USA. With a butt destroyer. That's like the name of the hot sauce. I've never seen no butt destroyer, colon destroyer, hot sauce in Mexico. You know what I mean? They got hot and spicy. They got habaneros. They get, they make really good salsa out here, spicy stuff. But you're not gonna compare with like the ghost pepper chili death sauce. Times a million. Come on. Now I get it. The USA is a big country. There are certain areas of the USA where mayonnaise, might be considered spicy. But I know plenty of places in the USA. I'm from Florida. Louisiana, Texas, I can go on all the South. I mean, come on. If it's not destroying your colon, I mean, is it even hot sauce? So But it's true, man. Fuck. So it's like all these little things like that. The reality is that, in fact, I'll see Mexicans even sometimes like point and laugh at me or gringos. For like, man, why do they put so much hot sauce on why do they put so much spicy on their fucking taco? Or whatever it is they eat. So it's just like all these little things. And so like the thing is, it's like, what I keep telling people is that, the reality is that you should be more fearful of staying where you're at. You should be more fearful of not making a change. You should be more fearful of, again, what the future might bring in your country or your situation. If you're watching this, if you're still watching this right now, come on. Give me a break, okay? There's a lot more things that you're probably more fearful of in the USA or your personal life over there than of any of the fears out here. I've already mentioned the real fears, the real fear that you should have out here, okay? Okay, honestly, is having secure income. That's it, okay? And maybe not knowing the language. Again, knowing the language thing is subjective. Okay, the less money you got, the less resources you got, the less you have, the more you should know Spanish. The more money you got, the more resources you got, the more checks you got coming in, the less you need to know Spanish. Okay, I know plenty of people out here that don't know Spanish and they live an amazing life. Okay, those are the people that cannot live out here on less than maybe 3,000 pesos or 2,000 pesos. Okay, without even knowing the language. Again, I know plenty of people that know the bare minimum of the language and they live just like me. Again, and around 1,000 or 1,500 a month. So there's many things, many levels to this, okay? But the people that don't know much Spanish, but they live a similar life to me, they also have a really, really good attitude about what life is like out here. Okay, and they're going out, they're laughing, they get a spicy taco and they're laughing with the Mexican. They're probably, coming tomorrow and playing a trick on the Mexican, and then I could go on. And before you know it, you're getting invited to the Mexican barbacoa, to the Mexican birthday party. All right, so it's all about you, it's all about your attitude, it's all about whatever. But the only thing really, okay, that anyone out there, should be worried about is income. That's it. Look, I came out here with nothing, okay? And my income was basically doing gig jobs, okay? Doing freelance work, okay? Online. I didn't have a job, okay? I didn't have an employer. I wasn't teaching English. I wasn't doing any of that, okay? I was free balling it, all right? And figuring it out. Again, it's not for the faint of heart, being an entrepreneur, living my lifestyle, okay? I get it. But it was a few moments, throughout my journey where it got really dicey. I had no money, zero, and had to figure it out. But I've done that in the USA, so it wasn't that big a deal. I mean, of course, it sucked, and I had to figure it out, whatever. But again, I'm glad that I had those skills to figure it out and do it. As the years have gone on and things have gone on, well, now I'm in a way better position. But again, knock on wood, nothing happens. But even if it does, let's say that, I don't do any YouTube. I don't do any of this stuff anymore. I'll be fine. I've already been here so long, learned so much, and made so many connections that, long story short, I mean, I could be selling Cuban sandwiches on the street tomorrow if I had to, and I'll be fine. And I could go on and on. So that's the thing. I mean? There's a lot of things that you got to consider. What are you going to do if all of a sudden you don't have any income? How are you going to make money? Are you going to be able to make money? By the way, I got videos on my channel. Real quick, okay? Let's just go to my website so you guys can see. Again, you can go to my website. And on my website, I got tons of free information to help you. So again, moving to Mexico, general information. Again, how to find a rental. How to find a job. Okay? 20 of the most asked questions. Again, and I could go on a banking solution. Apostle. Again, all these things that I had to figure out when I came out here. When I came out here, I didn't have a bank. I had to get apostilled, to get, my residency, to get through marriage. All these questions that I had to learn the hard way. I didn't have a job. Again, now I got like a whole list of jobs on my website. Look at that. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. All that. Okay. So, just again, all of my failures, okay, have in turn, been able to create this kind of blueprint for you guys so that you guys can figure it out. You know, again, I'm not. I'm look. I understand that there's a need, to sometimes have facilitators to help you do things. Okay, I get it. But if you need your hand to be held the whole time when you're out here, no, listen, don't come to Mexico. Stay where you're at. Stay where you're at. This is why I like to basically provide all the tools that you need to do it yourself, because that's how you should be doing it yourself. You're an immigrant. Get it together. You're leaving a crappy situation in the USA. It's not going to be easy. You got to make it happen. Okay. But with that said, I get it. There are certain things that you're going to need help with. You might not speak the language good enough to get your residency. Okay, fine. Hire somebody to help you with that. You know what I mean? To maybe get some paperwork done that you just don't want to waste your time. Again, if I could and I could afford to in the USA, I would pay somebody to do everything at the DMV for me. I don't want to go to the DMV to get my license. If I could pay somebody $100, to go and get my license at the DMV, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And so would you. So I get it. There are certain things you might need. Maybe you need a realtor. I get it. I understand. But for that's it. You know what I mean? If you should not, be out here constantly, needing someone to hold your hand and guide you to do everything. Because that's only a disservice to you. Because at one point, that person is not going to be around anymore. And then what? Now what? What are you going to do now? You don't even know how you even got there. So please, I'm telling you guys, do not learn the hard way, because you will. Okay, one way or the other, you're gonna learn. All right. So this is why I try to give you guys as much information, as much stuff as possible, so that, come on, you know what I mean? You guys at least have a blueprint, have a way to make it happen, and start, getting rid of a lot of these fears that are really, at the end of the day, once you, come out here and figure it out, you'll know that they're unfounded. And the real fears of Mexico are things that no one talks about. Like I said, making sure you have a job. Don't be thinking you're gonna come out of Mexico and get a job, at McDonald's. What are you, crazy? Come on. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, give me a break. And it's like, oh, Jose, I'm not willing. It's like, I don't know how to use a computer to teach English. Okay, you know what? You don't want it bad enough, bro. Learn, learn. Okay, I had to learn a bunch of things I didn't know how to do. You know what I mean? But I did it. Why? Because I wanted my freedom. I wanted to have a higher quality of life. I wanted to have, all these awesome things. And I knew that I had to work for them. I had to make it happen. So the same thing with you guys. You got to please understand that, all right? That's right. You're going to learn today. So anyways, Julio says, why are you encouraging to come? All it does is widen the class divide even further. All you want to do is live comfortably on the US dollar income and take advantage of the peso. I'm glad you brought that up, Julio. Julio, look, the reason I do that is because it's very simple, man. I am an immigrant. Okay. I was an immigrant. My parents were immigrants. I am an immigrant here. Okay. So I'm an immigrant in this country. Okay. Just like 35, 40 million Mexicans are also immigrants, or not immigrants, whatever, to, the USA. And again, yo soy cubano. I'm Cuban. So how many Cuban immigrants are in the USA? How many immigrants, period, from all over the world are in the USA? How many immigrants are in Mexico? There's tons of immigrants in Mexico. So again, you can be racist, okay, because that's what you are. And then, simply saying, oh, Mexico is only for Mexicans. Or, okay, you can think a little bigger, all right, and not be so, nasty minded, and just think of the whole idea of how much greater Mexico would be with so much influence from all over the world. Okay, because there are people from all over the world in Mexico, people from the Middle East, people from Korea, Japan, all over Asia, all over Latin America, all over, USA, Canada. I could go on and on, and this is only making Mexico better. All right. And so you can sit there and you can complain, and you can, be just like the same people that you are complaining about in the USA, and act exactly like them, or not. You know, I know many Mexicans. In fact, the majority of the Mexicans that I know, they don't see any problem with any of this stuff. Okay. And if you're going to sit here and just blame the immigrants, for the problems that Mexico has had for a long time, come on, bro. Come on. Don't get me started. Okay. So, That's the thing, all right? I don't want to get it. Again, if you want to talk about gender, I made videos on all this. Again, please, I encourage you to go check out my website, okay? Check out my videos. Okay, I've made videos on gentrification. I talk about things that nobody wants to talk about. Okay, and who is, again? I've asked this question before. Who is the worst enemy of a Mexican? Another Mexican. Again, this is not me who says this. There's many Mexicans that have said this and have corroborated with me on this. And that's the thing. You know, a lot of Mexicans say, it's like, oh, all these foreigners are coming out here and gentrifying. Are they? Really? Who owns the businesses? Who owns the hotels? Who owns the properties for sale? Who it's all of them are Mexican. The Mexicans are the ones that are gentrifying. Okay, the Mexicans are the ones that are taking advantage of this. Okay, and at the same time, the Mexicans are the ones that are helping build Mexico and make it better. Because the reality is that look, you know, you might not understand the situation, like a lot of people don't understand the situation. But if you live in a crappy neighborhood and all of a sudden that neighborhood isn't so crappy anymore. All of a sudden, you got a hamburger stand, a taco stand. They look nice. Oh, look, a Starbucks. Oh, look, an ice cream shop. Look, most of the people that have been living in that neighborhood are very happy. And in Mexico, everyone owns a home. And there's no property tax situation to really worry about. So what's the problem? All of a sudden now the neighborhoods are better. Listen, every Mexican is very happy. Okay. Oh, now we have access to all these things. Oh, now we got better roads. Oh, now we got better this. We got better that. Again, you know, the cost of living when it comes to things like the cost of food, you know, the cost of other things, it has nothing to do, you know, with a handful of foreigners. What, 3 million foreigners in Mexico? You know, how many Mexicans are here? So, you know, 140 million. So come on, don't get me started on that. So that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are fearful of other people out there not accepting them. Listen, there's going to be Mexicans out there that are racist, you know, and just the same as in USA, but just less of them, mucho less of them. Okay, trust me. All right. So yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. You know, all this stuff is nothing new. You know what I mean? All this kind of way of thinking is nothing new. And you know, for a lot of people, they're in fear right now. In fact, they're more in fear of that right now than ever. All right. And look, and the reality is, look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that person's still listening or not. But I am speaking to the audience here. Who was that person that I kind of blew up on there? Julio. Look, I'm not trying to pick on other here. Julio's still there. Okay, look, Julio. You know, and I don't want to even get started on this, but like, but I am started because you brought it up. The reality is that you know now more than ever. Do you know who my main audience is, or you know who a lot of my audience is, and who's growing on that part of my audience? It's a lot of Mexican Americans. So right now, a lot of the content that I'm actually making is for Mexicans or Mexican Americans. You know, Mexicans living in the USA, Mexican Americans born in the USA, and a lot of them, you know, that do want to come back home, and a lot of Latinos that want to come and live in this amazing country. All right, and bring you all kinds of amazing culture and all kinds of whatever. Because the reality is that Julio, okay, right now, you know, with Trump getting elected, all right, a lot of Americans are actually staying in the USA. Yes, there's people leaving. Of course, there's a lot of people that don't like Trump and they're leaving, but that's the minority. In fact, the majority of the people that are leaving these days are Mexican Americans and other Mexicans. So you basically telling me not to do this video, these content is basically like you don't want your people to come back, and your people are coming back, and they're bringing money, they're bringing skills, they're bringing all the awesomeness. Okay, so I mean, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like I hate those backwards ass comments from people, and I usually don't even entertain them. But the reality is that, in this case, I felt the need to because, hey, they're not what they seem. Okay. And this is why, a lot of people like to watch this channel because I like to present things, that a lot of people might not, show because they're, again, afraid for whatever reason. Oh, look at that. Julio says, if the peso was equivalent to the euro, you would not be here. Man, you are so wrong. Again, I got plenty of videos, okay, that talk about that. Because look, a while ago, when the dollar and the peso, meaning that the peso was strong, we had the strong super peso. I was cheering for the peso, and I wanted the peso to keep getting stronger and the dollar to keep dropping. Okay, and a lot of Americans, a lot of people, Canadians, they were not coming to Mexico because they're like, oh, Mexico's expensive. So you're right. You're right. It would keep those people out. It will keep the people that are only moving out here for the money out. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the reality is that a lot of people are moving to Mexico because of the quality of life. They want to live in Mexico and they want to make sure that Mexico stays Mexico. That's the reality of it. And even if the dollar was 1 to 1 with the peso, the euro was 1 to 1 with the peso, man, so many people would still move out here. If it was 1 to 1 with the dollar, I would move. I would still live out here. There's no way I would ever want to go back to the USA. Are you kidding me? In fact, if the US, if the dollar, okay, let's keep this 100%, guys. If the dollar, okay, were to be equal to the peso or the euro equal to the peso, are you kidding me? Now you can come to Mexico and get a job at McDonald's. And get a job at Walmart. Okay. And now the Mexicans that are getting richer, they're not going to work at McDonald's. They're not going to work at Walmart. They're going to need immigrants, poor Americans, poor Canadians that can't afford anymore to live in the U. And now they're going to come out here and they're the ones that are going to be the immigrants working these immigrant jobs. I mean, so yeah, yeah, of course you're still going to see it. In fact, it's going to flip. The table's going to flip. All right. So, I mean, dude, I can talk about this all day long. All right. And it's all in favor of Mexico, believe it or not. All right. So, just a FYI. All right. Viva Mexico. So yeah, anyways, TP says, what states in Mexico have moderate heat like forest areas and cooler summers? Basically anywhere in the center of the country. Hold on, let me see if I can get a map here. That's a good question. Let me see. Let me just get the map up. Okay. There we go. So there you go. So basically anywhere in the middle of the country. So anywhere from Guadalajara. See, look, like there, Puerto Vallarta, Guanajuato, Mexico City, Puebla, all these areas, okay? Everywhere like in the center here. Okay. Where's Querétaro? Querétaro, you know, San Luis Potosí, right? Where's that? Somewhere up here. So all the areas in the middle. That's basically the nice temperate weather. Okay. But again, if you go up here, you see it's desert. Okay. See the same as here, desert. Okay. So desert. You see, these are mountains. Okay. All the way up, all right. Through that area is mountains and mountains. Okay. And then out here where I live, you see in Merida, this is just flat. It's just like Florida. The whole peninsula here. Everything from like Campeche, the Quintana Roo to the Yucatan. This whole area out here is very flat, like Florida. And then as you go south, it gets mountainous, and then this very mountainous out here, kind of cold, mountainous, not cold, but whatever. And then out here, this is like a plateau where a lot of people live. So hopefully, but again, this is I'm just explaining to you like dumbass explanation. All right, there's more videos and better information out there. There's a lot of YouTubers that live in these areas and they'll get this show you. But yeah, those areas have like amazing temperature, like beautiful weather because they're like a mile. Most of these places are like about a mile above sea level. All right. And yeah, it's like on a plateau. So it's not in the mountains, no snow or anything like that. So, oh, awesome. Thank you, Hudson. Much appreciated. Yeah, anyone, again, yeah, for anyone that doesn't want to live in Mexico, they don't have to live here. But anyways, the videos walking around Guadalajara are great. Oh, thank you, Action. Shout out to you. I see you leaving comments. Thank you. Joke. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is like everything I was saying earlier, it's a big problem, that we're going to be seeing it's going to be hilarious because we're already seeing the beginnings of it, but I feel like we're going to be seeing even more of it as you're going to see a giant migration south. Because right now it's almost as if the migration north has stopped, for a lot of reasons. Because even though they were, by the way, there are plenty of YouTubers out there, and plenty of journalists and all that other stuff out there that are on the border right now, and they're showing you right now exactly that it's not stopped. Okay, the flow is continuing. Sure, it's diminished a bit, but not much, which is pretty surprising because I thought it was like complete stop. But long story short, I feel that as time goes on, the real flow is going to really, really kind of come to an end as it pertains to moving into the USA, and we're going to be seeing more and more Americans and Canadians moving to Mexico. That's and not just Americans and Canadians, so many people from all over the world. So Julio says, I've helped more Mexican people live better than anything you've ever done. That's great, Julio. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure those Mexicans appreciate it. And thank you for your service to the world. You're amazing. You're great. You want me to send you an award or something? Send me your address. I'll send you an award. Okay, I promise. But I mean, come on, guys. Yeah. I love the trolls. Anyways, Julio, look, bro, all good, bro. Shout out to you, bro. You know what I mean? Hopefully you don't hate me too much, but if you hate me, hey, it is what it is, bro. I get it. You won't be the first one, all right? Um, all I do is take advantage without helping or giving. How am I taking it? In fact, let me know, Julio, how am I taking advantage? In fact, this is a great moment to plug my stuff. Okay, listen, guys. Quick reminder. I do not sell anything at all whatsoever. Period. I'm definitely not a saint, okay, Ray T, but anyway. I'm more of a dolphin, okay? Oh, wait, what are we talking about here? Okay, anyways, listen. Everything I do for free. I give it away for free, all right? Sure, of course. When you guys watch my free videos and get my free information, I get advertising revenue. That's how YouTube makes money as well. That's how they're able to provide, this platform so that people like me and others can watch for free, can broadcast for free, and you can watch for free, right? You're not paying for YouTube, right? Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, you pay for your internet, but that's a different story. Anywho's, again, quick reminder, I don't sell anything. Just in case anyone's out there impersonating me, trying to get something out of you. They're not doing that yet, okay? But they used to do that when I was doing the crypto stuff. Anyways, all right, stay on topic, Jose. Anyways, I sell zero. I sell nothing. But with that said, I got tons of videos on my channel, on my website. Okay, so please go to my YouTube channel. All right, and you can have all kinds of free information right there. In fact, look, you see the little thing right next to the store. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, man. Julio, thank you, bro. You remind me of so many things. I've been dropping the ball today. So if it wasn't for Julio, shout out to Julio. I'm gonna send you a $5 super chat. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you very much. Anyways, what's that? Bruh. Okay, so all right, guys, on my YouTube channel, again, let's say you want residency, okay? All you got to do is just type residency right there. You see? Oh, sorry, okay, residency, and boom, you get a bunch of videos on residency. Job, boom, okay. Weather, I don't know, whatever. Any time. Oh, look at that! I made videos on the. Look, long story short, use my 500 videos and live streams on my channel to your advantage. Okay, it's all for free. Okay, all for free. Okay, so please go and check that out. Now, another thing that you can do is go to my website. On my website, again, you got links, moving to Mexico, general information, living in Merida, Yucatan, useful resources. We already went through that. Click on them. Tons of videos, tons of information to get you started. Again, all for free. All right. Now, if you actually do want to help support the show, I actually do sell something. I sell t-shirts. All right. In fact, I made a bunch of new t-shirts. So go over there and check it out. Again, the link to my shop is all the way at the top there. You see, all the way at the top. All right. Click on shop. All right. And it'll take you to the store. And look at that. I made some shirts. And look at that. Gulf of Mexico shirts. I made it in Spanish and in English. Golfo de Mexico and Gulf of Mexico there. I also made some art. Look at that. I made that art. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? All right. So there. So yeah, you're right. I entice people to watch my videos so I can sell my crappy t-shirts, You got me, Julio. You got me. Look, here's Gizmo. Look at that. I mean, I'm an artist, man. Look at that. It's like a Picasso. Look at that. I know, right? It's terrible. But anyways, but you can buy Gizmo on his shirt, many colors, many styles, whatever you're into. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, that's how you can help support the show. Buy one of my new t-shirts. I got a bunch of t-shirts, all kinds, all colors. please check it out. Okay. And then consultations, for anyone out there that wants to talk to me, for maybe you're out there and you want a bunch of information, but you don't want to look through my videos. Well, you can just talk to me and you can just hire me for a personalized consultation and we can have a one-on-one conversation and I can point you in the right direction, English or Spanish. All right. You're right. You're right. I am. I'm selling T-shirts. Julio, you got me, bro. You got me. You got me. I'm a horrible human being, man, because I sell T-shirts. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. You know it. No, no, no. Right? I don't know. What's a Michael Jackson song? The bad song. Anyways, so yeah, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. I'm out here selling T-shirts. And my time. But anyways, but no one is forced to buy anything. Okay, as you're not paying for anything right now. No one is paying for anything right now. It's all free. By the way, guys, I actually paid Julio, to jump in the chat, to make this segment a lot easier to digest. Okay, because I know a lot of people tune out when I'm here shilling my own stuff. Oh my god. No, I mean seriously. If I was a comedian, man, I would love my hecklers, man. Man, my hecklers would make my comedy. You know what I mean? I would just be, it's just jumping down the throat of a heckler. I mean, I used to be a chef, man. I mean, are you kidding me? You know how this was every day. This is every day. You know what I mean? So give the profits to the people. I am. So all the profits go to the Jose charity that's helped support distressed animals such as Lambo and Gizmo and bears like me. You know, so yeah, it helps. It definitely helps support, the needy. So, oh man. So, anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I did. I enjoyed today's live stream. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. We gotta give a big shout out to Julio. If it wasn't for Julio, it would not have been as funny, as hilarious. So shout out to Julio. Oh, let's get the right sound effect there for Julio. And I know Julio's having a blast because he's like, oh my god, someone's paying attention to me. So, shout out to Julio out there. You know. Anyways, we love everybody here, man. We're equal opportunity employer, So we love everybody. We troll everybody the same. You already know. So no one left behind, all right? um Hudson says, Jose, you had more issues in the United States than anyone should have to go through. I feel really bad for you, but you were smarter than most. You got out and saved your life and looked at, it's funny you say that, Hudson. Yes, I had a difficult life, but man, no way. You know what I mean? Maybe, I guess my lifestyle, my life as a chef, the people I used to work with hire, man, there's so many people out there that had way more difficult lives than me and harder lives than me. And looking back at my life, I was actually pretty blessed. As difficult as it was, and as much as I had to go through. But yeah, because if it wasn't for any of that, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't be living the awesome life that I live. And I've been able to help people all throughout my life. Again, when I was a chef, all the way through now, I still do that now. So the reality is that, like, man, I don't. There's no reason to feel bad for me at all. Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm living my dream life. I have been living my dream life, and that's why I do what I do, because I want so many of you guys to at least get close or maybe even surpass me in having an awesome life and living an awesome life. I know you can do it, because if my dumbass did it, so can you. But again, I'm just always reminding you guys how difficult it is. Again, it's like I say to people, you're 350 pounds and you want to drop to 150 pounds and you want to look good. Listen, it's going to take a lot more than Ozempic. In fact, no Ozempic. You're going to have to go out there and work out. You're going to have to go out there and stop eating. You're going to have to go out there and put in a lot of work for a lot of years in order to get to where you want to get. And so it's kind of like the same thing. That's all I'm telling you guys out here, is all I try to tell you guys out here. And I try to just encourage you guys, push you guys to, reach your full potential, whatever that is. And yeah, it makes me happy that I get to do that. But look, the issues I've had in the USA, I mean, it's not, how do I, there are so many people in the USA that have had my issues or worse for absolutely no fault of their own at all. And I feel like I got lucky where I was able to get out of it. Okay. And I was able to tell my story and, do so much more with that. But so many people do not. So many people get caught in that system and they're there for forever. That's it. And those are the people I feel sorry for. Those are the people I feel bad for. Those that are in that system and they're just, that's it. They're just getting grinded to a pulp and there's nothing they can do about it. That's why I feel bad for. Don't feel bad for me. I'm living my dream. You kidding me? I feel bad for you guys. You know what I mean? That are watching my content. Trying to live my life. You know what I mean? Like I want you guys to live my life. So even though I appreciate that, Hudson James, and I love you and I appreciate that. I love all of you guys, man. Trust me, I'm living my life. I've never been happier, okay? And this is why, my happiness is genuine. Everything I try to do out here is as genuine as possible because this is really how I feel and how happy and how blessed I am. And yeah, you know what I mean? I just wish the same for you guys, to tell you the truth. 100%. All of you guys. Even Julio. I don't know, I guess Julio left. Oh, Julio subscribed. All right, shout out to Julio. All right. We got a new subscriber. Look at that. All right. Shout out. See, I knew Julio was good deep down inside. Oh, he said not. Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it. I'm going to quit YouTube now because Julio got me. Anyways, whatever. By the way, enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, Julio. All right. I'm just, enjoying your presence. All right. This one. Um, Hudson James says, yes, they could get out just like you did. They're just not taking the knowledge and yeah, exactly. And look, at the end of the day, it's like what I was saying, the fear. A lot of people just they always make an excuse and they just don't do it. Again, a lot of people that are fat want to lose weight, and a lot of drug addicts want to stop doing drugs, but they don't. A lot of people want to better their lives, but they don't. You know what I mean? And even me, it took for me to be up against the wall, rock bottom, for me to really be out here where I am today. And man, what I mean? I'm so happy and so grateful for that. So it is what it is. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. Um, because we're gonna get to the other show. Remember, we're gonna be live on my other channel. So I hope to see you guys there. We're gonna go live in 30 minutes. So I'll see you guys there real soon. All right, I'm gonna provide the link here, and please, even if you can't make it, but you enjoyed today's content, at least go out there and leave me a like, or subscribe. Okay, but again, whether or not you like this content on today's video, like I said, I encourage you guys to come check out the rest of the channel over there because like I said, I have a lot of story time. It's all under the live, okay, under the live whatever. But anyways, look at all these story times and videos I've done on all kinds of things. So I think you'll find something you'll enjoy, especially if you go back to story time. you know Definitely enjoy those. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get ready for the next show. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of you. Thanks again for watching. And you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please the bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you guys here on Sunday, and I'll see you guys here next Thursday. And I'll see you guys in 30 minutes on my channel.